A live look at the White House tonight, the place where Congressman Dean Phillips hopes to be in 2024. But for now, he's in New Hampshire, launching his long-shot primary challenge against the president of his own party, Joe Biden. It is a surprising run, to say the least, and one we are watching on the ground where it became official this morning, Concord, New Hampshire. That is where we find our John Croman, who was there when Dean Phillips filed, there when Dean Phillips announced. John, I want to start with our number one viewer question on this run, which is, why is he doing this?
Well, what he told us in multiple occasions today is that he's doing it to save the country from Donald Trump, essentially. He doesn't think President Biden can win a rematch with the former president. So he says this is his only way that he can see for now to stop Donald Trump from going back to the White House. He says that maybe someone else will be inspired by him and step in, a bigger name will step in. But, you know, the theme today was about passing the torch to a new generation. The other theme was, instead of the silent majority, the theme was the exhausted majority. We heard a lot about that today as well, Jana.
Well, John, he's been saying this, though, for weeks, if not months, since the summer. Congressman Phillips is saying somebody should be inspired to run by him saying it should be done, and no one has taken the bait. So it doesn't completely add up that he's going through with this.
Well, you might say that, but I mean, he's got to start somewhere. And New Hampshire is the state where he could easily win the Democratic primary, especially since President Biden has not registered yet to run in this state. For all intents and purposes, the incumbent president will not be running in New Hampshire, which has traditionally, historically been the first battleground, the first real primary election. So I think he's just trying to get people to think beyond just staying where we're at and start to think about other things. I mean, he said, you know, a lot of times today we talked to him, you know, outside his bus, we talked to him on the bus, we talked to him in the State House here in Concord, and we heard his speech. And the theme was over and over again that if you check the polls, and he's talking about the polls that don't look good for President Biden in a matchup with Trump. And so he's just trying to get people, I guess, to think more broadly than just going with the incumbent.
You're getting back to a theme. I just want to ask it bluntly. Is this run by Dean Phillips vanity or insanity?
Oh, man. I don't really want to slap either of those labels on it because I don't want Dean to cut me off. No, actually, I just think that he's in a safe district. You know, remember, the filing deadline for him to run for Congress again is June 4th. So between now and June 4th, he has time to explore this. And if it doesn't work, you know, he can just say he tried. He tried to get the attention of the American people and get this message out there. And he can go back to being, you know, Congressman Dean Phillips if he decides to do that.
It has certainly been an interesting week for our Congress members of Minnesota. John, thanks so much in Concord, New Hampshire. Backtracking to what John was just talking about, the state of New Hampshire, it may be the one state where Dean Phillips has a very real possibility of winning. Because, as John mentioned, Biden chose not to appear on that state's primary ballot.